We're going to bring in Rabbi Yaakov Menken with the Coalition for Jewish Values. Rabbi, always great to see you. So we just heard Rabbi Steinmetz talking about the rise of anti-Semitism. And yesterday, we also saw those protests at JFK over the weapons shipments to Israel. I want to get your reaction to that and all the rhetoric, hateful rhetoric that was spewed there.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Rabbis are all in the business of arguing. We're supposed to argue with everything that anybody else says. Every word that Rabbi Steinmetz just said, Christina, absolutely accurate, completely on point. The Free Palestine movement, in fact, your reporter, Sarah Williamson, reported a few weeks ago when we initiated a billboard ad in Times Square declaring that Free Palestine is a genocidal call for hatred against Jews. Let's stop pretending that this is some sort of human rights cause. As Lord Rabbi Jonathan Sacks said, in every generation, anti-Semites will choose the highest values of society, whether that be religion or science, and now it's human rights. They claim it's a human rights cause to call for the murder of Jews. And as you see in JFK, these people are anti-civilization. It never ends with the Jews. People think, this is a problem, anti-Semitism, they hate the Jewish community. No, actually, they hate civilization. They hate anybody who just wants to go out their life and do their job. They're trying to block traffic in and out of JFK so that people cannot get to their vacation in Florida, their meetings in California, whatever it is that they need to do. Other people cannot live their lives because we have to make Israel the only important thing we care about because we need to destroy it. And that sends a very clear message to anybody who values civilization. We have to stand up to this nonsense and stop coddling it.
Yeah, and Rabbi, do you think that we'll see more of these protests in New York City, especially now with the mayoral candidate Zohran Mandavi, who's in the spotlight, and he has refused to condemn the horrific phrase "globalize the Antifada"?
Yeah, globalize the Intifada is a call for murder of Jews. You never heard the word Intifada until the PLO started popularizing it as an uprising in which they murdered Israeli civilians, who, of course, are Jews. This idea that it's some sort of human rights cause, that you can defend it, that I wouldn't use it, but other people do, no. Mamdani is an anti-Semitic barbarian. The idea that he could become mayor of New York is profoundly troubling to anybody who values American civilization. Forget members of the Jewish community. This is a serious problem. And, what we're seeing right now is a hateful inversion. I don't know if you saw this one, but Representative Randy Fine from Florida stood up to Ilhan Omar when Ilhan Omar called Netanyahu a war criminal and said he shouldn't be welcome in Washington. Randy Fine said, you're probably upset that he killed so many of your fellow Muslim terrorists, because that's what she is. She's aligned with Hamas. She's part of the Hamas terror network. She's backing every bit of their narrative. And, oh, by the way, she paraphrases Mein Kampf. And the fact that the House Democratic leadership is now standing up and demanding an apology from Randy Fine, this is exactly the problem of spreading and inculcating anti-Semitism and allowing it to become legitimized in the public sphere.
Rabbi, we're almost out of time, but I have the incredible James Rosen right here with me, and he wants to ask you a really quick question. James?
Thank you, Tracy, and thank you for your commentary, Rabbi. We have the benefit of history. Perhaps you're familiar with the scholar Daniel Goldhagen, who wrote a definitive history of anti-Semitism called The Devil That Never Dies. His earlier work was about the final solution. And I wonder, with the benefit of history, if you survey America right now, do you see the hallmarks of a movement that could, in any sense, lead to a catastrophe like the Shoah?
Well, the answer is you look back through history, and the Shoah was made of an extreme manifestation. But look at what happened when they destroyed the temple. Look what happened when Christian crusaders visited the Holy Land and murdered the Jewish community. There are times throughout history where you see this type of murderous hate become legitimized. Is that what's happening in America? Absolutely. Is it too late to reverse that? No. There are steps being taken now. I must second everything we're seeing come out of the DOJ, the Department of Education, the Trump administration in general, finally taking the steps that need to be taken to reverse hate. It really says something that the Democrats are allowing people who are essentially actual Nazis to serve in their caucus. But there's obviously one party that's clearly standing against it in this country, and we can hope for a better future for all Americans.
I'm going to leave it right there. Rabbi, always great to be with you. Thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you.